locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smokin.
That's right. It's the post game show with your boy. I'm Smoking Jeremy B. We're going to talk a little Lions football. That being said, Kneecap Biting with Smoking Jeremy B is presented by Sideline Sports. Currently, we're sitting at 205 subscribers. Please subscribe, like, and share. Check out my editorials at www.southfloridatribune.com. At any time, we will answer any viewer comments and questions. That being said, I want to give my opinion on the poor play. It looked like the Lions bought into the media hype that everybody was talking about all week prior to this game, how the Panthers had no shot. They were a poor team playing poorly, blah, 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 blah. And they looked past them and they kind of played exactly like they did against the Patriots. And it was kind of the same thing, same theme going into that game. A lot of the pundits that were out there were picking the Lions to win against New England. That being said, we played just as poorly on defense as we did in that game. Our offense actually wasn't that bad. That being said, let's get into the hot players. Hot players, Shane Zylstra was my number one hot player with 3 reception tutties in the red zone. TJ Hawkin, who misses him? Jared Goff actually had a very good game passing. He was 25 of 42 for 355 yards and 3 touchdowns. DJ Shark was one of his favorite receivers also with 4 receptions for 108 yards. And Amon-Ra St. Brown had 7 catches for 76 yards. Both of those are all of those are pretty darn good numbers. The cold players, number one, the interior D linemen in MLB. All of the big gash plays happened through the A and B gaps. I mean, it was like every time you turned around, they went just off center. Andrew Merklinger, this game didn't say we needed a draft defense. I don't know what will Goff haters will find a way to blame Goff when it was the defense that crapped the bed. Well, they're still blaming Goff on that fumble when Ragnow has already came and owned up that it was a low snap. It was his fault. It didn't even hit Jared Goff in the hands. It hit off his thigh. So that being said, that fumble changed the trajectory of that game because we were about ready to either take the lead or tie it up. And Steven Bauer says their defense was terrible against the run. Terrible. 240 yards on the ground by the halftime. The Lions for the entire game only got 42 yards rushing. Back to my cold players. The O-line, Ragnow snapped especially. Just look at the Colts to see what a bad QB looks like. You know what? Justin Herbert didn't start out too hot, but he kind of corrected it a little bit. I think they're still at 10-3 right now. And now they're at 1st and goal and about to score again. That being said, and the other one was the running game on both sides of the ball. Defensively, we couldn't stop the run. Offensively, we couldn't get it going, yet Jared Goff still had a decent game. And I'm not saying he's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm not saying he's everything. But Goff was not the reason we lost this game. 100%. Folk just threw 3 INTs. Yeah, I know. You know what? It's the first game he's played in over a year. He was told he was starting Monday. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Uh, kind of had some technical difficulties there. That being said, I'm back. Uh, Key stats. We threw for 355 yards. They threw for 250 and one score. We threw for three scores. They rushed for over 300 yards and just trounced us. We had 42. Defensively, we couldn't stop water with a net. That's what it was like. And they did just enough to hold us out of there. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Evidently, I ran out of hotspot. Now I'm running purely on my phone. Thank you, Will Vogues. We'll talk about it Wednesday. Uh, the playoff picture. Right now, because everybody ahead of us that lost, Seattle Giants and Commanders, we're still only a half game out of the playoffs. There's a couple scenarios that could screw us. If the Eagles win and the Vikings win, Dallas has nothing to play for in week 18. They can't catch them. So, as much as I hate to say this, we have to root for either the Saints to beat the Eagles to give Dallas a shot, or we have to root for Green Bay to beat the Vikings and put it all on week 18. I don't pick your poison. We beat Green Bay once, and I think we could do it again, but they're playing much better than they did last time. Their wide receivers are coming around and running good routes. It's actually looking like they're becoming a team. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience of the technical difficulties. So, who's all still with me? So, in all actuality, if we want it to be a very interesting week 18, we still need the Sea Chickens, Giants, and Commanders all to lose this week. We need Dallas to win. Yeah, but we need Dallas to win, and we either need Green Bay to beat the Vikings or the Saints to beat the Eagles. And the only reason why I say that, if Dallas has nothing to play for, if they're not going to move up in the seeding, guess what? They have no reason to try in week 18. So I think our best bet is to have the Giants, Commanders, and Sea Chickens all lose, and the Vikings to lose to Green Bay. Because then Dallas will be playing for the number 2 seed. Petty Grahams, we also need the Seahawks to lose because they beat us straight up and they have the same record right now. So we need them to lose. Because even if the Giants and Commanders lose, Giants are the 6th seed. Yes, Valerie Bordeaux. Hey, Jeremy, I'm super excited to be able to be at the next game, Lions versus Bears, baby. Yes, yes, it'll be a great game. Right now, Chicago's only one game ahead of the Texans. I can't believe I'm saying that. I didn't think they'd have that bad of the year. But thank you to your Bears. I'm getting paid this week. Do you know what I'm talking about, Valerie? Remember what I talked about in that last Friday free for all prior to the season I was on? The $50 bet I made. And she says, yeah, they destroyed their defense, so it's basement time for them. You get to see your boy Iffy play, unless Deshaun Elliott's back. So interesting enough, do you think we no? This was a gut punch and a wake up call for everybody on that team, all the players. As much as we want to yell at the coaches that they didn't do this and they didn't do that, it's also up to the players on the field to perform what the coaches have taught and had them practice all week. Yeah, I saw that, Patty Grimes. Tua is in concussion protocol, and he addressed that in an interview. He was tapping his helmet because the earpiece wasn't working, but because yeah, Zake, I hear you there. I have no faith in Watson to beat the Commanders either, but we need them to. That we got to root for it. We got to root for some. Yeah, he took a big hit in the fourth quarter against the Packers, and his earpiece malfunctioned in the helmet, and he was tapping his helmet to see if he could get it to come back in. Well, after a big hit, tapping your helmet is a sign of a concussion. So the refs pulled him because after what happened in the Bills game and the Bengals game, they weren't going to let that happen again. And I totally get it. He already cleared the NFL doctors, not team doctors. I don't think Miami wants any team doctors looking at anybody with a concussion ever again. That being said, how was everybody's Christmas? Did you guys enjoy it other than he's only had one that's been documented? If this plays out the way I think, yes, we could be in it. Because well, if Washington wins and we win, we're still at that half game out. We at least need the Sea Chickens to lose and have the Dallas game mean something versus Washington. Hey, I didn't say you called a bad game. I said as much as everybody wants to blame the coaches, the players have to perform the plays that's called. Zakwa says Green Bay's favored against Minnesota. They should be. They're at home. Right now, I would have that as a pick 'em game myself. I'd have it at like a 2.5 point favorite for Green Bay. How close am I, Zakwa? I don't care who Seattle plays, they need to lose. John Robinson comes in. What's up, Smokin' Jeremy? No matter what happens the rest of the season, that loss to the Panthers could be huge learning experience for this young Lions team. Absolutely. And Valerie Bordeaux says, fuck the Packers. Need Kirk change to put the dagger against the Vikes. That fumble was Ragnall's fault. The ball never hit his nuts. Ha ha ha. It was his fault actually. If you watch it, you can see it never hit your hands. But that's another story. When did Walter White take this podcast over? I love it. I gave up cooking meth. Valerie, even Frank Ragnall said he did a bad snap. in an interview today on the presser. Andrew, no. We have to win out. Period. Because right now the Packers are tied with us. If they beat us by more than 6 points, they'll have the tiebreaker over us. So the only way we get in is win out. So they go 8-9 and we go 9-8. That's it. We have to win this weekend, next week. I said it's probable, not. I said it's possible, not probable, Rico. No, I didn't get a chance to watch the presser today because I was busier than a one-legged man and an ass-kicking cancer. And Patty Grimes says a Pro Bowler wouldn't lie about it. Well, Zaquan, here's the other thing I notice about JMO. Uh, he's only played what, 3 games now? 4 tops. He doesn't have the playbook down yet. College route tree is usually about 6 or 7. NFL route tree is about 9. And when you got all the verbiage that's included in an NFL playbook versus a college playbook, it's way different. So I didn't expect a lot. I expected them to use him more as a decoy. Oh, I know. Put JMO on his list. Mike Valenti, get some brains. No, I know you're smart. I just hate the fake fake accounts anymore. I think they should use JMO more in different routes. If JMO doesn't play a full game this season, Kurt has to. Well, he's played in all 4 quarters. He just hasn't played a full game. So I think you're winning that bet. Yep, you're a better coach that you're not on the team, just like Matt Patricia. That being said, I'm wearing my favorite gift I got yesterday. No, notice it don't have a symbol on it. That's okay. We all know what it represents. Zaquan, not many snaps, but I think the snap count will ramp up this weekend because MetLife and that Carolina field were unsafe. Absolutely. What's with people's fascination saying that Goff keeps overthrowing JMO? I haven't seen him over or underthrow him, but these YouTube names are killing me. Hey, Jeremy, I think we stink. Well, if you get your head out of where those parts come from, maybe it won't stink so bad. We're ahead of schedule, guys. I said a 7 to 10 wins tops this season. When we had the bad part, I lowered it. I said 3 to 5 wins. We got to the 7 wins. I was right all along. But it looks like it's a max of 9 now because 10's not possible. We had to win last weekend to get that. That being said, it was not a great game. It was a gut punch to this defense. And what can I say? Was it disappointing? Yes. Was it frustrating? Absolutely. Was it the end of the season? No. We still got 7 wins after a 3-win season, people. The season was a success overall. James Houston, I want more damn playing time. No pressure equals wide receivers burning by. We know this. John Robinson, I see Bryant, Brockers, Cephas, Harris, and one of the RBs not making the team next year. Future Bears, Val. Zaquil, that's where you're wrong. Minnesota has to lose. We have to give Dallas a reason to play. If the Eagles beat the Saints, and they should, and they will, Eagles beat the Saints. Minnesota loses to Green Bay. Yes. We win. Washington, Giants, and Sea Chickens lose. That's the best one. Valerie says none of those will be Bears. If Green Bay's eliminated, that means Minnesota clinches the 2 seed and Dallas has nothing to play for. Oh, if he's on the team, John, they're not going to get rid of a lot of people on rookie contracts. It doesn't make sense to. I know you would, Val. You love Iffy. Okay, here's who does Dallas play? They can win with Rush, even not against Eagles. Well, I'm on my phone now because my hotspot ran out. That's what happened, and that's why I had to switch to this. And Brian Roy comes in and says, "Hey, Smoke." Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. Oh God, he's an alternate. Nothing's guaranteed, and he's like the 5th alternate for quarterbacks. That being said, it's been a great day. I had a good Christmas. How was everybody else's Christmas? Well, man, Chargers keep letting Colts hang around. They could come back in this game. Only 13-3. Yep, Dallas plays Commanders week 18. And let's see, Brian Roy says good. John Robinson says awesome. Will Vogue says my Christmas was good. It is time for me to talk about the people that pay my bills. A1 Tire and Auto Repair, 3 locations to serve you. That's Old Cook Holland with TNT Auto Sales in Cook Holland, and the one in Bay City on Broadway, and the one in Saginaw where I work on Genesee. Stop in. Great used tires at a great price, and great prices on new tires too. And if you need a decent used car and you're in the Tri-City area, please stop at TNT Auto Sales on Old Cook Holland Road. And also Mad Lab Custom Creation, Dan Leonard's love child. Great, great deals on getting some sports memorabilia. Cool. Steve Bauer says he got some Lion gifts. That's just worse for you guys than Everflus. Zahikwa says LOL. And King SJ says, was good. Thanks once the weather settled down. Ryan Poles, I'm coming to handle business Sunday, buddy. Can I get a free car? I don't know about free, but there's some good ones. We're not as expensive as going to the dealership. Let's put it that way. My Christmas was well spent. I spent it with my mom, my stepdad, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece. I'm still working on that, Will. That's why I try to make sure I put it on camera as often as possible. Yet you, it wouldn't be a bad pick, but at 2, if Will Anderson there, I'd almost take Anderson if I was the Chicago Bears because he can fill an outside edge like Mac and also play DN like Robert Quinn. Because their D tackle right now isn't that bad. We'll go with Jeremy. When I come to visit, we are going to drink so much Mountain Dew between the two of us. Yeah, I don't doubt that. And Zanko says, true, can't argue either or. Yeah, exactly. I mean, both would be a great pick there. Will is an animal. Yes, he is. So is Jalen Carter and is right. But what I have seen is Jalen Carter, a lot like Jordan Davis did, he gets gassed easily and has to miss time on the field. The other guy I like Miles Murphy out of Clemson. I also like Brian Brees out of Clemson. I love Joey Porter. I just wish he could stay on the field better as a corner. The corners I like that could be had in the second round are Emmanuel Forbes and Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. Don't underlook that kid. Plus, he's a teammate of Kirby, so there's familiarity there. He played in the safety backfield as well as corner. And Brad Holmes likes versatility. A guy I like in the late round. We do need a contested catch guy, a big guy with some speed. I want to draft a new running back like in the third round or later. And I'll give you a couple names for you. Um, and a lot of defense. Yeah, I want at least 5 more defense people. And yes, at the 7th pick, Anderson and Carter will be gone. And if we went Miles Murphy, Trenton Simpson, or Joey Porter Jr. there at 7, I wouldn't be angry with any of them. The only one that bothers me is Porter Jr. because he does have a tendency to miss 2 to 5 games a season like he did at Penn State. But he's a hell of a corner and one of the best on the ball corners. Patty Grimes, we were never taking a QB early anyways. What it takes us out of is the Will Anderson and Jalen Carter sweepstakes because we were going to get one or the other at 4 or 5. You can't get either one if you're past the top 5. Those guys are top 5 picks, hands down, every day of the week. The other 3 is Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Will Levis that they talk about all the time. There is a tackle on the offensive side of the ball that's been moving up into the top 5. Yeah, Vaitai isn't the future. He's 33 now. He was never the future. He was a bridge till we found the right one. I think we found him in Evan Brown, but Evan Brown has been a penalty magnet lately, and that bothers me. So, yes, I still believe we should get another one. And Luke G's field, Big B will be gone. I've said it all along, he'll be gone. They restructured him so they can afford to get rid of him next year prior to the injury. Brown will be okay, and he's a backup. Yeah, I know, but he's been playing as a starter. That's my thing, and he's a penalty magnet. I think he's been penalized like, let's see, we played 15 games and he's been penalized like 22 times. He's been penalized more than Taylor Decker. We play the Bears here at home at Ford Field on Sunday. And I'll be making my predictions on the Wednesday NFL review show. Panthers, Josh Norman today, which is interesting. The Bears. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I just wanted to get a quick synopsis because I think if the Eagles win and Minnesota win, Dallas has nothing to play for in week 18, which means they'll be starting backups. And the Commanders will probably win that game, and that'll take all chances away of anything. Oh, they signed him. Well, it'd be vet leadership for the defensive backfield. That's a good thing. Didn't he play for the Panthers once before? Zake says later. Have a good night. This has been Kneecap Biting with Smokin Jeremy P. Everybody have a blessed evening. I hope your Christmas was great. We'll talk to you Wednesday night around 8 p.m. when we do the NFL Roundtable Talks and we go through the weekly pick'ems of the games coming up. Murray is a bust. Mental, no title for Lamar yet. And King SJ says, thanks, JB. Hopefully, we don't look past any opponents anymore because that's going to bite us in the ass every time. Thank you and good night.